In the intricate and ever-evolving theater of the global marketplace, the spotlight has decisively shifted from the product on the shelf to the mind of the person who buys it. For decades, businesses operated under the assumption that a superior product or a competitive price was the primary determinant of success. However, the modern commercial landscape tells a vastly different story. It is a narrative written not in spreadsheets and manufacturing plans, but in the complex, often subconscious, language of human psychology. Understanding the consumer psyche is no longer a peripheral activity for the marketing department. It has become the central, non-negotiable imperative for any organization aspiring to create meaningful connections, foster enduring loyalty, and achieve sustainable growth. This fundamental shift requires us to look beyond the mere act of purchasing. We must delve deeper into the intricate web of thoughts, feelings, and motivations that precede, accompany, and follow every transaction. Why does one consumer choose a particular brand of coffee over another, even when the taste is nearly identical? The journey into the consumer's mind is therefore not an academic exercise, but a critical business function. It is the key that unlocks the door to profound insights, enabling marketers to move from merely selling products to genuinely solving problems and fulfilling desires, and build brand experiences that become an integral part of a consumer's life story. The traditional view of commerce often reduces the consumer to a rational actor, a logical being who makes decisions based on a cold, hard calculation of features, benefits, and price. This model, while tidy and convenient, is a dramatic oversimplification of a beautifully complex reality. The truth is that every purchase, no matter how small, is steeped in psychology. Consider the simple act of buying a morning coffee. On the surface, it is a straightforward transaction to acquire a caffeinated beverage. Yet beneath this surface lies a rich tapestry of psychological factors. Is the consumer buying a quick, inexpensive cup from a street vendor to satisfy a basic need for energy? Or are they stepping into a premium coffee shop, paying 5 times the price for an experience that offers a sense of affordable luxury? These psychological underpinnings are not confined to luxury goods or lifestyle products. They permeate every single product category. The choice of laundry detergent can be driven by a deep-seated need to be seen as a competent and caring parent. The selection of an insurance policy is often motivated by a profound fear of uncertainty and a desire to protect one's family from future hardship. To systematically unlock the psychology of buying, we must first identify the foundational pillars upon which all consumer behavior is built. While the human mind is infinitely complex, a substantial body of research has identified 3 core areas that provide a robust framework for analysis. These pillars are needs and motivation, personality, and perception. Together, they form a powerful triad that explains the journey from latent desire to final purchase decision. The first pillar, needs and motivation, serves as the engine of consumer behavior. A need is the recognition of a gap between current state and desired future state, creating tension. This tension gives rise to motivation. These needs range from basic physiological requirements such as food and water to complex psychological desires for achievement, belonging, or self-expression. The second pillar is personality, the unique psychological blueprint of an individual. It encompasses stable traits, characteristics, and patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving that make each person distinct. An adventurous consumer open to new experiences will be drawn to different products than someone cautious who values tradition. Understanding personality theories and traits helps marketers segment audiences and craft resonant brand identities. The third pillar is perception. If motivation is the engine and personality is the blueprint, then perception is the lens through which consumers view the world. It's the cognitive process of selecting, organizing, and interpreting sensory information from advertisements and packaging to store environments and reviews, creating a coherent picture. Perception is inherently subjective. 2 people exposed to the same stimulus can interpret it completely differently based on past experiences and current needs. At the very heart of all human action, including every single purchasing decision, lies the fundamental concept of need. A need represents a state of felt deprivation, a perceived discrepancy between where we are and where we want to be. It is this feeling of lack or discomfort that creates a psychological tension, serving as the initial spark that ignites the entire consumer behavior process. The most fundamental are biogenic needs, which are rooted in our biology and are essential for our physical survival. These include the requirements for air, water, food, shelter, and safety. While these needs are universal, the way they manifest as wants is shaped by our culture and personal experiences. For instance, the biogenic need for sustenance might translate into a want for a home-cooked meal, a quick takeaway pizza, or a fine dining experience. Beyond the physiological, we encounter psychogenic needs, which are psychological in nature and arise from our social environment and our desire for personal growth. A luxury watch is not purchased merely to tell the time. It is bought to satisfy a psychogenic need for status and esteem. A subscription to a social networking platform is not just about technology. It is about fulfilling the deep-seated human need for connection and community. This journey from need to action is powered by motivation, the driving force that propels us towards a goal. When a need is sufficiently aroused, it creates a state of tension that the consumer is motivated to reduce. While needs and motivation explain why a consumer is compelled to act, the concept of personality helps to explain how they will act and what they will choose. Personality can be defined as the unique, enduring set of inner psychological characteristics that consistently influence how an individual responds to their environment. It is the internal compass that guides our choices, shapes our tastes, and determines our preferences, making us who we are. One person, characterized by a high degree of openness to experience, might actively seek out new and innovative products, eagerly embracing change and novelty. In contrast, another individual, who is more cautious and values stability, might prefer familiar, trusted brands. They will stick with the same brand of car, toothpaste, and coffee for years, finding comfort and security in routine and predictability. These divergent behaviors are not random. They are direct reflections of underlying personality traits. Freudian theory suggests that our behavior is often driven by unconscious motives and desires, stemming from a dynamic interplay between the instinctual ID, the realistic ego, and the moralistic superego. This perspective suggests that marketing appeals that tap into deep-seated emotions, symbols, and fantasies can be incredibly powerful. By understanding the dominant personality traits of a target audience, marketers can create brand personalities that align with the consumer's own self-concept, fostering a much deeper and more resonant connection. If needs and motivation provide the why and personality provides the how of consumer behavior, then perception provides the what. It is our personal lens, coloring everything we see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. Perception is the critical process through which we select, organize, and interpret stimuli from the outside world to form a meaningful and coherent picture of reality. In the context of marketing, this is a concept of profound importance, because consumers do not make decisions based on objective reality, but on their subjective perception of that reality. The perceptual process unfolds in a series of stages, beginning with sensation. This is the immediate and direct response of our sensory receptors to basic stimuli such as light, color, sound, and texture. Marketers invest enormous resources in designing sensory inputs to capture our attention, from the vibrant colors of a product's packaging to the signature scent of a retail store. Due to our limited cognitive capacity, we engage in a process of selective attention, focusing only on those stimuli that are relevant to our current needs, interests, or values. Once a stimulus has been selected and attended to, the final stage is interpretation. This is where we assign meaning to the sensory information we have received, drawing upon our existing knowledge, experiences, beliefs, and cultural background. This is the most subjective part of the process. A low price, for example, might be interpreted as great value by one consumer, but as low quality by another. Understanding how consumers interpret marketing cues is essential for crafting messages that are perceived exactly as intended, ensuring that the brand's positioning is clear, compelling, and positive in the consumer's mind. While we have introduced needs, personality, and perception as three distinct pillars, It is crucial to understand that they do not operate in isolation. In the mind of the consumer, these forces are dynamically and continuously intertwined, weaving together to form the rich and complex fabric of any purchasing decision. A truly comprehensive understanding of consumer behavior emerges only when we appreciate how these elements interact with and influence one another. It is this integrated framework that provides the most powerful and holistic view, allowing marketers to see the complete picture rather than just isolated fragments of consumer psychology. Let's trace how these threads connect. The process often begins with a need. An individual feels a need for social acceptance, a psychogenic need. This need creates the motivation to act. Now, their personality comes into play. If the individual has an extroverted and trend-conscious personality, their motivation might be channeled towards acquiring products that signal social status and trendiness. This is where perception takes over. They begin to actively perceive and pay attention to marketing messages related to fashion, technology, and social hotspots. This interplay is constant and reciprocal. Our underlying needs can influence our perceptions. When we are hungry, we are more likely to perceive food-related advertisements in a positive light. The magic happens at the intersection. The most successful brands are those that understand how to create offerings that address a fundamental need, resonate with the consumer's personality, and are perceived in a way that is both positive and compelling. A campaign that appeals brilliantly to a consumer's needs but clashes with their personality is unlikely to succeed. A product that is perfectly aligned with a consumer's self-concept but is perceived as being of poor quality will be rejected. Understanding the intricate psychological drivers of consumer behavior is a fascinating academic pursuit, but for managers and marketing professionals, its true value lies in its application. The ultimate challenge, the managerial gauntlet, is to translate these profound psychological insights into concrete, effective, and profitable marketing strategies. This is where theory meets practice, where data meets decision-making, and where understanding the consumer's mind leads to tangible business outcomes. For a marketing manager, grasping the nuances of needs and motivation is essential for the very first step of strategy market segmentation and targeting. By identifying distinct groups of consumers based on their shared needs, a company can tailor its offerings with surgical precision. This understanding informs product development, guiding engineers and designers to create features that solve real problems and deliver desired psychological benefits. By carefully crafting a brand personality, be it rugged like Royal Enfield, sophisticated like Apple, or trustworthy like a major bank, that aligns with the self-concept of the target consumer, managers can forge a powerful emotional bond. A deep understanding of the perceptual process equips managers with the tools to win the battle for the consumer's attention and interpretation. It guides packaging designers to use colors, shapes, and materials that will stand out on a crowded shelf. It helps media planners select channels where their target audience is most likely to be receptive to messages. In essence, managing perception is about strategically shaping every touchpoint to ensure the brand is seen and remembered in the most favorable light possible. While the fundamental psychological principles of needs, motivation, personality, and perception are universal, their expression and prioritization are profoundly shaped by culture. As we embark on this journey to unlock the psychology of buying, it is essential to ground our exploration in a specific, dynamic, and incredibly diverse context, the Indian market. India presents a fascinating case study where age-old traditions coexist with hyper-modernity, where a multitude of languages and customs create a mosaic of consumer segments. The hierarchy of needs takes on a unique texture in the Indian context. For a vast segment of the population, biogenic needs for affordability, accessibility, and value remain paramount, driving the success of products sold in small, low-cost sachets and the proliferation of economy-focused brands. Simultaneously, a burgeoning middle-class and affluent elite are increasingly driven by psychogenic needs. The pursuit of status, recognition, and self-actualization fuels demand for luxury goods, international travel, and premium educational services. Personality and perception are also heavily influenced by the Indian cultural milieu. the concept of family and community often plays a more central role in decision-making than a purely individualistic self-concept. Think of the success of jewelry brands like Tanishq, which have masterfully woven their marketing narratives into the fabric of Indian weddings and festivals. Similarly, perception is shaped by a unique set of cultural symbols, colors, and beliefs. The color green on food packaging is a powerful and instantly perceived indicator of vegetarian content. Throughout our discussion, we will consistently draw upon examples from the Indian market to illustrate the practical application of these psychological concepts. From Hindustan Unilever's response to hygiene needs during the pandemic to the aspirational positioning of smartphone brands, these real-world case studies will demonstrate how global theories are adapted and implemented to succeed in a local context. Understanding the universal drivers of human behavior is the first step. Knowing how to speak to them in a culturally fluent voice is the key to unlocking the heart of the Indian consumer. To navigate the complex terrain of the consumer's mind, we require a clear and structured map. This module is designed to be that map, providing a systematic and in-depth exploration of the core psychological drivers of consumer behavior. Our journey will be divided into several distinct but interconnected parts, each building upon the last to create a holistic and comprehensive understanding. We will move from the fundamental sparks of desire to the intricate filters of personality and perception, and finally, to the strategic application of this knowledge in the real world of marketing. Our exploration will begin in earnest with a deep dive into needs and motivation. Here, we will go beyond the introductory concepts to meticulously explore the different types of needs and dissect the motivational process step by step. Next, in theories of motivation, we will add theoretical rigor by examining the seminal frameworks that have shaped modern marketing thought, explaining their practical implications for marketers targeting diverse consumer segments in India. This will be followed by personality and consumer behavior, where we will investigate how enduring traits influence brand choices and loyalty, exploring various personality theories with illustrative examples. Our journey will then lead us to perception and selective perception, where we will deconstruct the process by which consumers interpret the world and marketing messages, showing how marketers can strategically manage these filters. In marketing applications and case studies, we will bring all these concepts to life through detailed analyses of real-world campaigns from brands like Hindustan Unilever and Titan. Finally, our journey will culminate in the conclusion, where we will synthesize our key learnings, reinforcing the powerful interplay between needs, motivation, personality, and perception, and providing actionable insights for building stronger brand connections. As we stand at the threshold of this comprehensive exploration, it is important to set a clear intention for the journey ahead. The objective of this module is not merely to present a collection of theories and definitions for rote memorization. Instead, the promise is to equip you with a new lens, a psychological lens, through which to view the marketplace. The goal is to cultivate a deeper, more empathetic, and more strategically astute understanding of the consumer. By the end of our discussion, you will be able to look at any product, any advertisement, or any brand, and begin to deconstruct the underlying psychological mechanics at play. This deeper understanding will empower you to move beyond superficial observations and ask more insightful questions. Instead of simply noting that a particular advertising campaign was successful, you will be able to analyze why it was successful. Was it because it tapped into a latent psychogenic need for achievement? Was it because its brand personality perfectly mirrored the self-concept of its target audience? Or was it because it used sensory cues so effectively that it captured attention in a cluttered media landscape? This ability to dissect success and even failure is the hallmark of a sophisticated marketing professional. The promise, therefore, is one of transformation. It is about transforming your perspective from that of a passive observer to that of an active analyst of human behavior. It is about providing you with the mental models and frameworks necessary to anticipate consumer trends, to diagnose marketing problems, and to devise creative solutions that are grounded in a solid understanding of human nature. This knowledge is versatile and enduring. While specific marketing tactics and technologies will constantly change, the fundamental psychological drivers of human beings remain remarkably consistent over time. Mastering them provides a timeless competitive advantage. So, let us begin. Let us set the stage for an intellectual journey that promises to be both enlightening and eminently practical. We will explore the hidden motivations, the unique personalities, and the subjective perceptions that animate the world of commerce. We will connect timeless psychological theories to contemporary marketing practices, with a special focus on the vibrant Indian market. The ultimate promise is that by unlocking the psychology of buying, you will be better prepared to create marketing that does not just sell, but that connects, resonates, and endures. Let us now take the first step into the fascinating inner world of the consumer.